Good morning, everyone. I am Apurva Malviya from Industry Institute Interface Committee of IMDR. As a trend at IMDR, we regularly invite speakers from industry who have illustrious career progression to conduct a guest lecture, webinar, or panel discussions about the area of expertise. Such sessions give students a fresh and real life insight into specific industries and business experiences and motivate them to craft their successful career. This session is very special event because it talks about a journey of setting a world record by Rajpath Infracon Private Limited. Nothing escapes his sharp eye. The smallest of the details of the three important M's manpower, machine, and material are personally inspected. Every milestone is well planned, every strategy deliberated to assure success is well performed by Mr. Jagdish Kadam by creating a world record by constructing the longest asphalt road in just 24 hours in the Maharashtra state in the year 2021. He was also awarded as the best brand by prestigious business media houses consisting Asia One, Economic Times Now, CNBC, and ZTV in Dubai in the year 2021. Now we are going to watch the glimpse of this journey towards success through a video. Now I would like to request my team member Mihir to play the video.
A goal without a plan is just a wish. We dreamed bigger. We challenged our limits. Difficulties only made us strive harder. Our hard work is now a world record. A record of constructing 39.691 kilometers long stretch of road in merely 24 hours. Rajpath Infracom constructed a road between Pusegaon to Mahasune in Satara district in Maharashtra using bituminous concrete. With our association with PWD, we have paid a unique tribute to the state of Maharashtra on its 61st anniversary through this record-breaking work. Achieving the record has been a long, tedious and rigorous process. Our work began 3 months before the actual day with R&D and planning.
A project that would challenge our expertise, our skill of planning, organization and executing. And it put our knowledge and experience to test. However, after successful completion, we can say it has helped us grow as a team, as an organization.
A war room, a think tank and a highly motivated team of 474 personnel with 250 vehicles was ready to take on this challenge. Constructing almost 40 kilometers of road in 24 hours wasn't an easy thing to do. Despite our best effort, we faced technical difficulties when our two plants had breakdowns in the middle of the day. When we had to deal with challenges on site, our team showed us what it stood for. Some of our team members worked for all 24 hours while dealing with natural, climatic, and technical challenges. Nation building doesn't happen in a day. It requires endless honest efforts from everyone. We are contributing to it with our commitment, passion, excellence, and smart work. For us, Samarth Bharat, Sashakt Bharat serves as a roadmap for all our endeavors and leads us to a brighter and better tomorrow.
Thanks everyone for watching this inspiring journey towards a great milestone through this beautiful video. Now, I'm going to introduce the visionary behind this superlative achievement by this company. Leadership is not about a title or a designation, it's about impact, influence, and inspiration. Well, this quote is well proven by a notable person amongst us today. I am pleased to welcome our guest of the day, Mr. Jagdish Kadam, who is the chairman and the managing director of Rajpath Infracon Private Limited. It is an infrastructure development company which has successfully completed projects ranging from dams, canals, tunnels to highways and bridges. He is a visionary leader. He guided various infrastructure development execution of various projects for government, semi-government, corporate sector as well as cooperative sector. Mr. Kadam, with his managerial and planning skills, has consistently succeeded in implementation and completion of most critical projects. Also, during pandemic, he contributed rupees 1.5 crore to PM Relief Fund. Sir has also done bachelor's in civil engineering and has founded Rajpath Infracon and has completed more than 35 years with this organization. He is a veteran in the civil industry. His team uses innovative technologies and efficient teamwork to offer services to build the nation. Thank you very much.
Uh, Thank you, respectable Dr. Shikha Jain, the director, Dr. Professor Nagar, and my associates from Deccan Education Society and the students of IMDR. Good morning to everyone. See, I'm Jagdish Kadam, and I did my civil engineering in the year 1986 from COAP, College of Engineering, Pune, which has a legacy of more than 170 years. Dr. Bharat Ratna Dr. Vishweswaraya was the alumni of this college. So, when I completed the civil engineering, then for 2 years I took experience. I did a job with a monthly salary of 500 rupees per month to get the experience. The clear goal in my mind was to do the infrastructure business because civil engineering is my passion, and that's why I chosen the civil engineering in COAP. See, this a small background I'm telling you because you should know how it end up at the world record. So when I started my business in the year 1988, almost 31 plus years back, with a capital of only 500 rupees, and slowly and gradually we grown up. See, in this journey of infrastructure development, we faced a lot of challenges, many ups and many downs. And I always think that if you don't face the challenges, then your journey will be aimless. You will not enjoy your life, the journey of your life. And that's why when going through these period of almost 25, 30 years into in the field of infrastructure development, there were some period wherein we face lots of challenges, the difficulties, but we overcome them. We got new experience, and our journey keep going on. See, while doing this infrastructure works, personally, I myself and the whole Rajpat team, they are very passionate. Till today, we have got so many certificate of excellence, certificate of appreciation, the awards for executing infrastructure works in time or before time with the utmost quality. And that's our tagline. While serving Samartha Bhasha Bharat, Sashakta Bharat, we always keep in mind that we should do work with utmost quality and speed. So the journey was going on, and as we all know, in the year 2020, month was March and the date was 24th, when our Honorable Prime Minister declared the complete lockdown in India. That was 24th March 2020. And the whole world was facing a tremendous pressure and the challenge of this COVID. No one was knowing what is this? What is this virus about? All through the world, each and every person was trying to fight against this virus. So the case was with us also. So when the Honorable Prime Minister declared the lockdown, so all the works, maybe infrastructure development works, maybe manufacturing factories or educational institutes was closed down. And that was the situation. Nobody was knowing what is happening and what is going to happen. We did one thing. From the humanity ground, the same day, 24th March, I wrote a WhatsApp message to each and every employee of Rajpath. There were almost 1200 plus employees working in the Rajpath, and half of them were from the out of Maharashtra, like Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Orissa, West Bengal. And if that time after lockdown, we all know, we have seen that hundreds of laborers were migrating to their native places. So I thought if these employees, they start migrating to their native places, they'll go by public transport. They'll get infected. They'll go to their native place. They'll infect their old parents, wives, children's. So better I requested them to stay at the site. Those sites are our sites were on the interior part of state, Maharashtra state. So nothing to worry. If you stay at site, so you will get the meal and the staying facility free of cost. And if you stay at site, at the campsite, and if you don't travel, I appeal them that I'll give you 100% salary. And the result was more than 85% of our employees were stayed at site only. They don't migrate, they don't travel. See, this I did because of the humanity, against our co-workers, the employees who left their native place, travel almost hundreds of miles and came to Rajpath camp to work. But what happened, see, after a month, on 20th April, all of a sudden, Government of India declared that the infrastructure works which are at a remote place, they can start working. And that was a game changer decision for us. Why? I'll tell you, my friends, colleagues in the same industry, they did not appeal their co-workers, the employees, so they fled away. They migrated to their native place. Nobody was at their camp. But when government declared that you can start your work, so we could start our work immediately after 20th April. Within 3 days time, all the 11 sites we could start because more than 85% of our staff was at site present. And see, there is someone superpower, I call it a god. He's looking at us. I did a favor looking in the humanity way. So I appealed the workforce, the co-workers to stay at site. I was not knowing that after a month time, government may start working or ask us to start site working. But see, when the government gave us the permission to start the working, all the staff, most of the staff were at site, so we could start the work. And that time you might be knowing that in the month of May and June, the inflation and the rates of the material like diesel, bitumen, they they were like in a negative cell. You might be heard of that time that the diesel rate in the Gulf countries was on the negative side. So we could manage the material, A grade material with a very economical price. So we keep working our sites. And the second advantage we got, because we are into infrastructure development, we are constructing the roads. So along the road, there are so many villages. There are good people also, there are bad people also. And these gundas, they always keep to hurdle, trouble us. But the second side of this COVID, due to this COVID lockdown, all these white collared, blue collared, good people and gundas were locked out in their houses only. So we could run site very well, but bad thing happens. And that happened in the month of September. I got COVID positive. And then thereafter, my oxygen level was down very much. So I got admitted. I was very serious. And then the doctors, they gave me all that stuff, remdesivir and the blood thinners and the injections. I was admitted in uh, Mangeshkar Hospital there for 7 days. But luckily, by the grace of God and by the good efforts of doctors, I got discharged in September 2020. I took a rest of almost 2 to 3 weeks at home. And then again, I have to start working because, see, there was n number of difficulties, challenges in front of me. What happened? Not only myself, but all the top executives from my Rajpath company got COVID, and they got, some of them got admitted, some of them got quarantined. So the case was with the labor force, the site people also, and thereafter the challenges began. I remember that Diwali in the month of November 2020. It was a horrible Diwali because I used to rush at the site, but there was no force. All the leaders, Sardar, we call them prime project managers, they were COVID positive, and the whole army, Rajpath army, was without face, without leaders. They could not achieve their targets. That time, government was also, the center and the state government was also in trouble, financial problems. So they could not pay us. So there was a challenge of self existence to survive ourselves and to run the show. In this period, almost 2 months, I ran like anything. I visited sites, I tried to gather the people again. I tried wholeheartedly to boost the site, but no way. I remember in the month of January 2021, there was a second era of COVID that has started. And that was more dangerous because we know that time in the second era, the second wave of COVID, very close ones, the relatives, the known people died because of this COVID second wave. They could not get the oxygen cylinders, the beds, and there was a total negative mindset in the total society, all across the society. I personally was so demoralized because that time I was in a great financial problems. I could not pay in the history of Rajpath for more than 33 years. First time it happened, that I could not pay our staff's salary for 3 months. I could not pay our suppliers. And that was very new to me because in these 33 years, we did not delayed our salary by a month only. So I felt too bad and I was totally demoralized. And I was thinking, why am I alive to see this? No way. What should I do? There were two options in front of me that time. So I asked my industry friends, see, this is my condition. I don't want to live. What's your condition? Each and every, most of the friends in the industry, they told me that, Jagdish, here at our level, we are at the same platform. Then I thought, if this is the case, this is not only with me, this is all along the society, then we must do something great. In this negative mentality, we should keep a positive mindset and we should fight. There were two options: just to accept the defeat and leave it, or otherwise to fight it, either to win or to lose. So I chose second option. Why? because there were almost 1200 plus employees. There dependent 5 6000 people. Then contract labor there were almost 12,000. So 18,000 peoples, they are dependent on Rajpath. I'll accept the defeat. What about them? So I decided to fight. And one thing I kept in mind when I was hospitalized, what to do. So that time, in 6 days time, I read the biography of a great warrior, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Because I am very fond of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. I try to follow his principle. That time he applied his principles, those principles today also in the modern era, this modern world, those principle very much works in this business management. So I kept in mind, I keep thinking that we should relate this challenge to those principles. What to do? So I think I meditate, and in the month of March, I decided to go for some uncommon work. So I keep visiting again the sites. I keep talking to, discussing to our site people, the head office people. And then one day in the month of March, the idea came up. What was the idea? So somebody from our site camp, one senior asked me, sir, what is the world record of doing, executing a bituminous concrete road in a single day? So I searched and I got the information that 25.54 kilometer of bituminous concrete was laid by a Malaysian company in India, and that was the world record in a single day, 24 hours time, single lane. When I told this, immediately, spontaneously, executive said, sir, we will break this world record. Was that's all? See, as a leader, I know I cannot do anything alone. If I inspired them, and if the target comes from their mouth, then they're going to own the responsibility. That I was expecting, and that happened. So, with this tagline, I talked to HO people, head office people. I talked to so many site peoples, and then decided to go for a world record of executing 30-kilometer road in a single day. We planned it. Accordingly, I had visited the Mumbai, the Mantralaya, the chief's principal secretary of PWD, additional chief secretary. I met the technical secretary, top official of government authorities, then the ministers, and I presented my idea to them that I want to execute a 30-kilometer road in a single day, and I want to break the world record. And my team is ready. Are you going to cooperate or be with us? They happily said they were just chapped. How you can do it? It's a COVID time. So I told them, sir, it's a COVID time, it's an adversity, and I believe in a principle of Jugaad. And the Jugaad technology, the first principle is seek opportunity in adversity.
This is the adversity. So we have to keep the opportunity, seeking opportunity. And that's why this target was framed. So they happily supported me. They'll, yes, government of in Maharashtra, PWD will be with you. Go ahead. The journey started. Then I visited so many sites. I discussed to the superior team, the executives of site from top to bottom with the helpers, with the mukadam, with the supervisors, with the drivers, along with the executives. And I kept them telling that I linked this story with the story of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. How? I told my people that, see, that time 350 odd years back, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj fought for the Swaraj. This 47-kilometer, we have got that time the 47-kilometer stretch of road for construction. That is in the Satara district of Maharashtra. It is near Faltan, Aund, and which goes to Pandharpur. So I told them, my team, that we will prepare a 40-kilometer road for this world record. Because see, I always keep in mind, always think that there should be a standby arrangement in disaster management. If you want to work in disaster management, the first principle is you should seek a standby arrangement always. So we choose a 40-kilometer road. And then I told them that this is nothing but a battlefield. That time, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj fought the battle on the battlefield against all sultanats with the weapons like sword, the arrows, bhalas, the guns, the horses, the elephants, along with the maulas. I related that story to our 40-kilometer project, and I told my people, see, this is 40 kilometers is nothing but a battlefield. We have to fight here. And our ammunition, our weapons are the hot mix plant, the sensor pavers, the tandem rollers, the excavators, uh, almost 200 plus odd highway tippers. And we all, including me, are the maulas of Chhatrapati Shivaji. And I'll do one thing, is that my nature. I will lead you from the forefront. I'll be in the front of this battlefield. I'll be here present. So we'll manage, we'll do a micro planning. And that micro planning goes almost for 2 months. Even though that was because we decided in the month of March and we were executing it in the month of May. So we were following the AccuWeather forecast site, American site. That's an American site. And that American site was followed by us because that was that those days there was a raining. So there should not be raining that day because it's a bituminous work. So we could not work in rainy season. Like small planning, micro planning, we thought of. I took each and everybody in confidence and decided the plan. So we divided this total 40 kilometer in 6 sections. There were 8 hot mix plants. The nearest hot mix plant was 7 kilometer away from the site, and the farthest was 108 kilometer away from the site. So we plan accordingly. We executed a table showing each hourly progress of each and every plant. We divided this into 6 sections. So each and every section, we appointed a Sardar, Pramukh. We called him as a project manager. And then thereafter, with this project manager, we appointed 3 highway engineers, 2 quality engineers, 2 surveyors, and a team of 71 additional helpers, supervisors, engineers who will join the project manager and who will listen to his orders only. So in the 6 sections, 79 per section means 474 people we deployed. And I asked them, you have to do one thing only. Each and every part of the section was instructed that what work you are going to do. Just concentrate on that work. मैंने उनको ये कहा कि आपको आपका जो है ना बुरुज तटबंदी होती है किले की, आपको आपकी प्लेस शाबुत रखनी है, ना कि यहाँ दाएं बाएं कुछ देखना है. कुछ भी होने दो, कुछ एक्सीडेंट मेजर होने दो, कुछ ब्लास्ट होने दो, आपको सिर्फ आपकी जगह देखनी है, बस. दैट्स ऑल. एंड इट विल बी अ वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड. विल वन. I deputed a think tank over them. If something happens, and that is going to happen, I was thinking that. So if something happens, then this think tank, the flying squad, they will monitor it. I was 24 hours present at the war room. We set a war room at the center. We prepared an app wherein per hourly progress was planned per section, for each section, 6 sections. And then if 1 hour passed, then if some section they pass the output, then there will be a green belt. And if some sections they underperform for some reason, then that will be a red belt. So in sitting in a war room, what was my job? My job was to look at the screen just to see where is the red belt, and then this standby arrangement which we prepared just to force them to go there and help the that section head. And that worked very well, because the day come, the 30th May, that was Sunday, and I'll say that the from 15th May till 31st May, it was a complete lockdown in Satara district. So it was very difficult to get the permission from the collector. So we met the collector. We asked him, requested him, sir, we are going to do the world record, and we want your permission. He said he's an IS officer, very young and dynamic personality. He's still there. So he said, no way, I'll not break my rules of COVID norms. So I requested him, sir, see, because I was knowing that he is an engineer. So I said, sir, see, you are leading, you are the head of the Satara state, Satara district, and the world record is going to happen in this district only, and you are heading the district. So the credit goes to you also. Immediately he said, yes, that's the point. What should we do? He said, we'll do one thing. You execute your work. I'll not look at it. I'll ask my people not to look at it. I'll see the other part of my district. Bas. But strictly, you will have to follow the COVID norms. We happily accepted. So the social distancing, then uh, sanitization, and the mask. So we said, yes, we'll do, sir. He said, no, not only three conditions. There should be a fourth condition. You will have to take the rapid test. Each and every person working on site should be negative. Oh, that was the problem. 3 days before, how to get the rapid test done? But my nephew, he is operating a COVID center at my native place. He told me, Kaka, uncle, don't worry. I'll get the whole team, doctor's team, along with the this van, ambulance van. Here at site, we'll get the rapid test done. And we did it successfully. See, one principle you should always keep in mind. There is no gain without pain. If if you try to execute some extraordinary, if you try to stretch your capabilities, always keep in mind there will be someone who will come to help you. But you should do your karma 200% and don't expect the fruits. They'll come, they'll follow. Only you have to keep your patience on. So we did all the test, and then they come and see again Jugaad principle how it worked. So there was a total lockdown in Satara district, and when this hot mix plant, uh, which was 108 kilometer away from the site, to travel that hot mix plant bituminous concrete material, to travel from that plant to site, there were 8 to 10 small villages. And if you know the rural part of our India, you might be knowing that in villages, always these kisan and villagers, they gather in Bajar Pet in the early morning till afternoon. And they keep talking, discussing. वहां आके वो सारी दुनिया की खबर लेते हैं. वहां तंबाकू खाते खाते गप शप मारते हैं. कोई लेके आता है अपना ट्रैक्टर, कोई मोटरसाइकिल, कोई साइकिल, और वहां उनको ऐसा कुछ नहीं रहता कि कोई ट्रैफिक जा रही है तो अपने हिसाब से जाएगी, देखा जाएगा. लेकिन you see what happened due to this strict lockdown implemented by collector. In these villages, we saw in these bazaar pits, there was nobody, even dogs, because of this strict lockdown. कुत्ता भी नहीं था वहां. हमारी गाड़ियां जैसे हमने प्लान की वैसे ट्रैवल कर रही थी. और ये 108 किलोमीटर से आना, उसके लिए रेखी की थी हमने, ताकि कोई भूल ना जाए रोड. अब देखो इसका एक एडेड एडवांटेज ये होता है, ये बिकॉज वी वे सपोज टू record this in Limca Book of World Records and Indian Book of Records. So there was a team of shooting, video shooting, of almost 65 people from the media. They were present all along the road. They were shooting 24 hours. And ये काम करने वाले जो मजदूर होते हैं, वो the laying temperature of the bituminous concrete at site must be 140 degrees plus. So to work in that temperature in the month of May was a horrible job. ये लोगों की जो मजदूर होते हैं उनकी आदत होती है फिर 4 घंटे काम करना, 3 घंटे काम करना, 1 घंटा बैठ जाना, 2 घंटे सो जाना, खाना और वापिस आना। लेकिन हमने उनको ये कहा, उसमें भी हमने दिमाग लगाया है। उनको अगर काम करना है 12 घंटे के लिए तो उनको ये कहा कि सी आपका शूटिंग हो रहा है, आपकी फ़िल्म बन रही है। ये आप सामने जो कैमरा देख रहे हैं ना, उस कैमरा से आपकी शूटिंग हो रही है और वो शूटिंग बड़े स्क्रीन पे दिखाने जाने वाली है। वो स्टूडियो में दिखा रहे हैं, तो आप अलर्ट रहिएगा। वो कलेक्टर साहब और सब बैठे हैं वहाँ, वो भी देख रहे हैं कि ये कोविड नॉर्म्स फॉलो कर रहे हैं या नहीं। तो उन्होंने ये 12-12 घंटे काम ऐसे किया विदाउट डिस्टर्बिंग, ब्रेकिंग एनी कोविड नॉर्म्स। मास्क जो होता है वो 12-12 घंटे इन्होंने रखा था। दिस वाज अगेन द प्लस साइड, द अपॉर्चुनिटी against the adversity. So when this work started in the morning at 7 a.m. and the disaster management, as we all know, has to happen. So 2 our hot mix plants broke down. They are under maintenance. So we decided to pull in the additional 2 hot mix plants. Initially, we were required 6 hot mix plants for 6 sections, but we prepared for 2 additional. And those 2 hot mix plants, though those 2 hot mix plants, they come into force. And again, the work started. We all were observing. The morale was so high. We really was enjoying the execution part of it. And all these technical secretaries and the chief engineer and the superintendent engineers and the authorities, the politicians, they all supported. They were at site present. So when this goes on and on and on, and at in the evening at 8:30, our team did executed a road, bituminous concrete road of the length 26 kilometer, and we broke the world record. That was the happiest moment. Secretary came into war room. He was waiting till then. Everyone celebrated, but site was working because we decided to go for 30 kilometers. So we asked my executives, see, now it's almost 26 kilometer over, and in 3-4 hours time we'll complete the 30 kilometer task which we have decided. But these people, our staff, employees, were so excited and fully pumped up. They said, no, sir, we have decided 24 hours. So we'll work till 7 in the morning. We'll see what happens. Will we be able to complete 30, 32, 34? We'll see, but we'll work whole night. I could not stop them. And then the work go on. And in the morning, 7 a.m., after completion of 24 hours time, when I sat in the war room and reconciled the length of each section which they have executed, the total number comes to 39.69 kilometers in 24 hours time. So way ahead than the world record of 25. And this was done by my workers, my associates, a common man, and a common company like Rajput. We could execute this with a great pleasure. See, during this execution, I'll because you are not a civil engineering students, so to get the knowledge, how much material we required. See, we required almost 13,575 metric ton of bituminous concrete to lay this road. And to imagine, see, the healthiest living animal on this planet Earth is the African elephant, who fully grown up African elephant weighs maximum 7 ton. So we led 2,000 African elephants weight in a single day. We executed 40 kilometers almost. See, the expressway, when we start expressway from Pune side, Kiuregaon, till Lonavala, it is a 44-kilometer length. You can imagine the length part of it. I will say all these 200 odd highway tippers, those tippers that in that 24 hours time, those tippers traveled 55,175 kilometers without an accident. Because like this Formula One, we organized, you can say, the disaster management uh, flying squads, uh, the tempos who took tire, because during this travel time the vehicles maybe get punctured. So to change the vehicle tires, Stephanie's, we kept them in a truck and tempos and keep them traveling. When anything happens, they'll call. The driver has his cell number, the controller, and he'll call controller. And I told these controllers that I want each and every vehicle, if it is breakdown, it should be on on road within 25 minutes, because it's a hot material, and we have to keep the temperature on plus 140 degrees centigrade. And it happened 9, 10 times. Some vehicles got punctured, but they could move on immediately. Like these small things, the principles, minutely thinking on that front, we could achieve this unimaginable target of 39.69 kilometers. During this, the huge material was required. That's why the huge infusion of funds were required. We were financially stuck up. So I visited so many my friends and the bankers and the relatives, and I begged for money. But that time, nobody could help me. The exception was one of my friend who we studied in college times, and he is now NRI, and he runs a very good business in US. And he that time was here in India. I called him, and he's from Haryana, and I called him, Gaurav, I want your help. So he said, what? Jagdish, I told him that yes, I want some funds for executing this work, because this is the time, the self existence survival of our company. So or otherwise will finished off. So he is a good planner. So he said me, yes, Jagdish, I have planned my American employee salary in the month of October, November, December. I'll give that money to you, no, without interest. You keep it with you, but with one condition: you should pay me the same, the first October, the first November, and the first December in the year 2021. I accepted, and as I am also a good planner, so called. So I keep in mind. But one thing say you, see, he give me that, he transferred that amount to my account. But as soon as that amount comes to my account, I was so uh, fresh and happy and most confident. My whole team, my wife, she looks after the financial part of it. She is an architect, but still she works as a acting director. She looks after the financial part of it. And then we were so confident that till the end, we just don't use that money. Does not require. The only confidence which came along with that money. And we repaid as committed on the 1st October, 1st November, and 1st December. I thank him very much. So, this was the story of our Rajpath employees. See, here I am, I am, I told you the story, the journey of world record, but here I am nobody. Who did this? My team, the whole team, Rajpath team, who worked in the head office, who worked at site, who supplied us, our suppliers, our bankers, our service providers. Each and every one is supported us like anything. That time we were on the verge of collapsing bankruptcy, but still they 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 supported us. And with this great this thing, see, when it happened, all of a sudden it came into my mind, and when we were celebrating along with the secretaries of government of Maharashtra, so मैंने कहा उनको, मीडिया को, कि देखो ये इट्स अनइमेजिनेबल, आई कुड नॉट से, बट स्टिल अगर कुछ कहना है तो मैं ये जरूर कहूंगा कि ये 61 सालगिरह महाराष्ट्र स्टेट का संपन्न हो रहा है। और मैं ये चाहता हूँ कि हमारी राजपथ के टीम की तरफ से और पीडब्ल्यूडी महाराष्ट्र की तरफ से ये विश्व विक्रम हम 61 सालगिरह के तहत महाराष्ट्र राज्य को अर्पित करते हैं। और वो महाराष्ट्र राज्य, ये हम देश का जो अमृत महोत्सव अभी होने जा रहा है, उस अमृत महोत्सव के लिए महाराष्ट्र की तरफ से ये विश्व विक्रम समर्पित करते हैं। हमने ये ऑनरेबल प्राइम मिनिस्टर को भी लिखा, उनका रिस्पांस भी आया था। This was the whole story of Rajpath world record. I think it's now 45 minutes over, so I'll complete my speech here.
Yes, sir. So, can we take questions, sir, now?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much. So, participants, kindly raise your hands to ask questions. Okay, so, sir, these participants will unmute one by one and they will ask questions.
Sure.
So, first question is from Poonam. Yes,
Good
Poonam, please unmute. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, I wanted to ask that was the feat of the world record planned in advance or did it just happen by chance during your regular work?
See, we planned the world record of 30 kilometers. But during this operation time, our team was so excited and they just don't want to stop it up heartedly. So they did, or they start working. They did work till the next morning, 7 a.m. And the result was almost 40 kilometers, 10 kilometers ahead than planned.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, sir. So, next question, Prasad. Please unmute your mic and ask. Prasad?
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, yes, please.
Yes.
Yes. Good morning, sir. First
Good
of all,
morning.
thank you so much for your wonderful thoughts, and I'm very grateful that such a person has gave a wonderful speech, and I'm thankful to hear this whole journey. My question is, why and how did this idea of going for the world record come up to your mind? And my another question is, how did you think you were capable of achieving it?
See, this world record, when, as I told in my speech, that when we were going through a tough period, very tough period in the month of February, there was a question of existence, self-existence, physically and commercially. And then when I talk to my colleagues or my friends, in the society, there was a feeling of negative mindset. What is going to happen? Because in second wave, so many people lost their lives, and it was a negative mentality all across the society. So to break this negative mentality, I decided to go for such a work that we we common people, or we common company like a Rajpath could can do exceptionally greatest work along with my team. So we did it to get the moral boosting. So we will set an example in the society that, see, we could execute 40 kilometers in 24 hours time, and we did a world record, keeping in mind the positive mindset that if you always work positively, the positive things going to happen in your life. So in this negative mentality, to kill this mentality, we did executed the world record with a positive mindset. So in the society, whoever is working in their field, go ahead, do something positive with a positive mind, and kill the COVID era, kill the negative mentality, and you will feel, क्योंकि ये जैसे ही हुआ ना, 40 इंच का सीना हमारा फरवरी में हुआ था मेरे साथ मेरे लोगों का। जब ये वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड हुआ, 2 महीने का ही वक्त चला गया, लेकिन उसमें 56 इंच सीना हर एक का था हमारी यहाँ। और उसके बाद तो फिर बस ऐसे ही चल पड़े ये लोग। तो that was the thought initially I kept in mind. And your second question, what was it?
Yes, Prasad?
Yes, sir. My second question was, how did you think you were capable of achieving it?
See, I am a person with some extra positive energy. See, I always keep in mind the top is always vacant. Whichever field you go, top is always vacant. And the second thing, when there is a will, there is a way. Always keep. You will succeed. See, I'll say, Prasad, uh, in our culture, many leaders earlier, they taught us so many principles. I follow the principle of Swami Vivekananda. What is this principle? This is a principle of three P's. If you want to succeed in your life, always keep in mind three P's. What are these three P's? First P is passion. You, in whichever field you are working, you should be passionate. The second P is patience. साई बाबा ने हमें कहा है श्रद्धा और सबूरी. We know better. We Indians, we have lots and lots more patience, so we could achieve. And the third P is perseverance. You should follow till the end. Success will follow you 100%. I guarantee you. That's all.
Next question from Tina. Tina, please unmute and ask.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, sir, you have rightly mentioned that where there is an adversity, there is always an opportunity. And you seem like a person who would plan ahead and would be able to see what the future holds. So, how do you think a career in infrastructure has a great future?
Tina, as far as I'm happy that a girl like you, Tina, you asked me this question. Great. Congratulations. And see, as an Indian citizen, here in India, we have got a lots of opportunities in infrastructure in years to come. See how. See, there, the central government, especially, along with the state government also, they are into infrastructure development. See, always these financial people, they talk about the GDP. And if we want to cross 5 trillion, as our Honorable Prime Minister assured us in near 2 3 years time. So see, two things. One is the infrastructure development, and the second is as we are agro-based country, so agriculture. The maximum labor force is required in agriculture field, and secondly in the infrastructure. And if this agriculture is nature dependent, but this infrastructure, if government puts in money for infrastructure development, so that rotates. See, uh, John F. Kennedy, who said America is rich not because of American roads are good. Sorry. American roads are good not because America is rich, but it is rich because its roads are good. So infrastructure is very important in nation building. So in near future, there are so many opportunities in road infrastructure, in railways, in airports, in inland waterways. See, recently, last month only, we have formulated a joint venture company with Maritime Research Center. It's our CSR activity. What we are going to do, we have established a center of excellence for this maritime research institute in Pune only. Because in near future, the road, see, one thing I'll tell you, the water transport is the cheapest transport in the world. So it is very developed in European countries, but India, in northeast region or the north area, North India, it is very progressive. It will be very progressive. There is great opportunity. So in near future, it is going to happen. But along with this, there are the service. There will be the service providers. There will be the hospitality. There will be the electrical or computer, artificial intelligence. As you know, FASTag. What are the advantage of this FASTag? So there is going to be the vast opportunity in infrastructure. Tina.
Right, sir. Thank you so much.
Uh, Thank you, Tina. So, Mihir, kindly unmute and ask your question.
Good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, good morning, Mihir.
So my question is, how was the financial planning managed for such a huge project?
See, financial planning, you have to build yourself step by step. मेरा ये समझना है कि आई माइट बी रॉन्ग, लेकिन मेरा ये समझना है कि भारत में धीरूभाई अंबानी एक ही हो सकता है, लेकिन जो धीरूभाई अंबानी होने के लिए जिन्होंने काफी कष्ट उठाए, ऐसे कई लोग, सैकड़ों, उनकी फेलियर स्टोरी अपने सामने नहीं आई है, लेकिन ये सक्सेस स्टोरी बताई जाती है धीरूभाई। दैट वाज अ ग्रेट एंटरप्रेन्योर एंड अ पर्सन, धीरूभाई, आई adore, salute him. But slowly you have to build your network, and then thereafter, with the help of these financial institutes and bankers, you will build, like anything, they'll support you. As right now, from last few years, we are seeing that the startups, unicorns. See, India is the third largest country who has more than 80, 84 unicorns after China and America. So there is a vast scope. You all, you Indians, the students, the young people, that's the strength, that's the asset of India. You can do anything, you can do wonders, but always try to be grounded. That is very much needed. And you will see that, as I told you, that time, almost 35 years back, I did my engineering and started my business with the help of 500 rupees as a capital. But the time has changed. Now in this startup era, you can get, you'll not have to wait till 30 years. You'll get it immediately, but the ideas, the innovation from your side is very important. And that will go along with the financial part. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Anuja, please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Thank you, ma'am. So, sir, my question is like, how large was the scale of this project in terms of man, machine, and material, and how did you achieve it?
See, the scale I told you that 13,575 metric ton. It means equivalent to 2,000 weight of it, 2,000 African elephants. The manpower I told you, 474 on site, and some odd 60 people in flying squads and war room, the think tank, and again almost 100 observers or the authorities for quality checking from government side, from independent engineer side. So this was the total force, man force behind this. And I told you that 8 hot mix plants along with 200 plus odd Haiwa tippers traveled 55,175 kilometer in a single day without accident, keeping all COVID norms in place. So this was a huge task. Actually, I am a civil engineer, and I'll say it is, or it was not a easy task for us. But see, our nature is keep stretching ourselves and stretch ourselves to the extent you should not break. That's all.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Uh, yes, Pranita, kindly ask your question.
Yes, ma'am. Hello, sir. So my question
Hello.
is like, personally, was there any moment of doubt during the making of this world record? And how did you handle the pressure? And also, how did you feel after and achieving such a huge success?
Yes, Pranita, there were very challenges in numbers, big numbers. And as I told you, some examples like when this COVID, due to this COVID lockdown, our vehicles could travel easily. That was a big challenge. Then see this rapid test compulsion by the collector of Satara. Actually, this Satara collector, when I was knowing that he is an engineer, so I interacted him and I asked him, sir, a great pleasure, you are an engineer. So he said, no, not only engineer, I'm a civil engineer. And I did my MTech. Oh, great, MTech in structures. Oh, great, that's great. From where? He said, I did my MTech from UC Berkeley. I said, wow, sir, you came back to India and now you are IS heading the district. See, he's a young chap. The students like you, the young generation like you, there are so many good opportunities in India also. Though my daughter is, she did her graduation from UCLA in political science and economics. Now she is as a pre-doc position working with Wharton Business School. Uh, she wants to pursue her doctorate, PhD. But yes, I know she'll come back because in India, in near future, in coming 5-10 years, see the simple calculation or the simple equation. I'll say when our Prime Minister says that we will be 5 trillion by year 24-25. So uh, he uh, he is very dynamic person, as we all know. So he'll try his best, but only trying himself will not happen. This we all will have to contribute something, and if we contribute, see my reading, we will be 5 trillion economy in the year 2026-27. It means 5 years down the line. So what does it mean 5 trillion? Today we are 2.6, 2.7 trillion. Okay. So to become 5 trillions, it means double the revenue. So each and every person, citizen of India, his revenue will be doubled in coming 5 years. And that's how we'll become the 5 trillion nation. So what does it mean? It means that the inflow of funds will be to the great extent, and there'll be a vast, you can say, opportunity in each and every field of the nation, the industry, because we have two plus points as India. We are plus on the young population side, and in near future when it will be a 5 trillion, the consumption of goods will be here only. The market, the whole market of the world will be in India. To grab that market, you will have to do the smart work. I'll say, to conclude this, I'll say one thing. See, dear young generation, always try to follow Saraswati, the goddess of Vidya. Don't try to follow Lakshmi. If you try to follow Lakshmi, means money. So it is like our shade, sunshade. So as we will try to hold Lakshmi, it will run away. But Saraswati is like, if you hold Saraswati, अगर आप आराधना सरस्वती की करते हो तो लक्ष्मी भी is going to follow you 100%. So always keep in mind, do something great for our nation. That's all the best.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would like to invite Diganto Chakrabarti for a formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Uh, Firstly, it's my honor and privilege to offer a vote of thanks in this occasion. I, Diganto Chakraborty, on behalf of Deccan Education Society, IMDR, would like to convey my sincere gratitude to Mr. Jagdish Kadam for giving us time and enlightening us on his team's journey of creating the longest bituminous concrete road and showing us the way to world record. Uh, Sir, your thoughts and experiences are really inspiring. From a mere capital of rupees 500 to the creation of a large infra company, you mentioned that the mission has always been of service with utmost quality. In the uncertainty of COVID during the tormenting phase of lockdown, you allowed the employees to stay back at your worksite without a layoff, which exemplifies the role of humanity and also deserves utmost respect and praise. Amidst all adversity, when you got hospitalized and your crew tested positive for COVID, your resilience proved that nothing was impossible. Even in the times of extreme financial crisis, you fought your way out of the situation by adopting the principle of optimism and keeping a positive mind all throughout. The teachings from the biography of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj motivated you, and you believed in its relevance. Seeking opportunity in times of adversity, with this philosophy, your team undertook the project of creating the longest bituminous road, beating the previous world record of 25.5 kilometers, which was no less than a battle in itself. Some other principles that you emphasized on was of keeping a standing arrangement for disaster management. This was also a very vital line that we have to keep in our mind. Division of project via micro planning is one aspect that you mentioned. It enhances the task of efficiency and also therefore your team of Rajpath adopted this strategy and executed with prime accuracy. Lastly, you mentioned about the role of karma in our lives and resorting to good deeds without the expectation of receiving any fruits from it. This great thought alone is enough to prove the volume of value that you and your organization possess. So it is extremely encouraging for us. These pieces of information are really helpful and will be definitely valuable for us in our future corporate endeavor. So thank you once again, sir, from the bottom of our hearts. Now, I would also like to thank our director, ma'am, the faculty, the non-teaching staff for constantly supporting and encouraging us in respect of such corporate connect. I thank the entire student organizing team, the technical support, and last but not the least, all my student colleagues without whom this session couldn't have been successful. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time today.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Shikha, ma'am.
Yeah, sir. Completely our pleasure. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Sir, I would like to thank you for such a thought-provoking and interesting session. We truly appreciate your vision, your efforts, your strategic planning, its effective implementation, and the team spirit of Team Rajpath Infracom. We are grateful for the time and effort you took to share your thoughts and experiences with our students and all other participants. Thank you so much for sharing with us a glimpse of your wonderful journey of touching new milestones. Thanks for making us realize that thinking outside of the box gives us an edge over everyone. Zeal to work hard and not to leave any stone unturned in order to achieve our targets. We have learned that the mantra for such extraordinary achievement is approaching things in innovative ways and finding variables to it through our creativity. Unusual and big dreams can also come true if we are focused and determined to accept challenges and work hard to achieve our goals. Sir, your ability to dream big, focus toward goal, and can-do approach and optimism despite various hurdles have been highly appreciated by our participants. And thank you so much for answering variety of questions so meticulously, sir. Thank you so much for this wonderful session, sir. We are grateful to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Team IMDR. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.